So, I have not had caffeine in like a month. Now, I mean, it's actually been a month. I challenged myself not to have any caffeine for the month of September, and this is going to be my first cup of coffee in 30 days. I have the water in my beautiful percolator here. Let's get that out of the way for now. We'll get it in a minute. Old-timey percolator. I've got my coffee grounds in the percolator basket. Some grounds just fell in the water, but that's okay. Gives it character. And we are going to plug this bad boy in and make some coffee. Takes a little bit sometimes. You got to make sure it's going. There it goes. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but there's a little hiss of like, oh, it's about to make that beautiful percolator sound. So, I wanted to talk about, while we're waiting on this to go, I'll turn this around so you can see when the light has gone. When this turns orange, then we can have coffee. I want to talk about why I did this. I don't want to say challenged, because it wasn't laid down like a gauntlet, right? But I was interested by a person I follow on Twitter named Naval Ravikant, who's an investor and I would call him a philosopher, not like a professional philosopher, but he thinks about life and the best way to live life and tries to pursue wisdom. And he talked about how he completely quit coffee, just doesn't drink it anymore, does not use coffee at all because it's a stimulant. And I got to thinking, if I wanted to quit, could I quit? Like, am I addicted? Was the question I really wanted to answer, because there's a lot of stuff you do every day that you're not addicted to, right? I'm not addicted to taking showers. I'm not addicted to waking up. I mean, I guess kind of, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't think of those things as addictions. That's just something that you do because it's a good idea, or maybe because you like it, right? I watch television because I enjoy television. I'm not addicted to television. But coffee's a chemical. Coffee is a physical, it has a physical effect on you if you have it with caffeine. And so I wanted to know, am I addicted, and how addicted am I? And so I decided I'm not going to drink coffee for a month. Or at least I'm going to try, right? Because when you go into something like this, you don't know how well it's going to go. So I set myself the goal to just get off of coffee for a month and see what happened. And what happened was the first several days were pretty rough. I want to say 2 or 3 days. There was some headaches that I had. There were just the general feeling of tiredness and withdrawal. But once I got beyond that, it wasn't any big deal. It wasn't like a major milestone to overcome not drinking coffee. You know, it took some willpower, but I don't have the most willpower in the world, and I do really enjoy coffee. I'm not a caffeine fiend like some people that I know. I won't name them. But everybody has that guy. It's always a guy, in my experience, who needs like 4 monsters a day to function. That's not me. But I do enjoy my caffeine. I really enjoy my coffee. It tastes great. I love coffee. The reason I'm going back to coffee is because I really enjoy the taste. And I wanted to just get back. I didn't want to give that up forever. I'm not willing to. But as far as the physical effects of coffee, without it, I've been able to function relatively normally. It has not been too bad on the withdrawal. As far as like being tired, I get kind of tired in the evening, a little bit, but not enough really to even make a difference. Because I work a relatively late shift, I have a 1 to 10 at night kind of a shift that I work. When I get home, a lot of times I still have way too much energy because my mental, ratcheted upness from being at work is so high that it takes me like at least an hour to go to sleep. I've started taking melatonin, honestly, because even without coffee, once you're functioning at that time of night, your brain just doesn't want to shut down. I do yawn a lot, but I don't know if that's something different than before when I had coffee. And I say a lot. I mean, I notice it. It's really tough. I'm not wearing a mask right now, obviously, but when you're wearing a mask and you yawn, well, it pulls, like the chin catches and then it pulls you way down below your nose, and then you're not wearing a mask anymore and you have to like pull it back up and then you're touching your mask and it's ineffective, but I already had COVID, so I'm not particularly worried. Does this thing go, oh, it feels, I love the sound of the percolator. I love the smell of the coffee. There's something about the process of making coffee that's just so fulfilling. I mean, we talked about addictions a minute ago as far as a chemical thing, but the getting in the habit of doing this, of having this process in your morning is a different kind of addiction. It really sort of fills a hole somewhere in your soul. Like you probably have processes, even if you don't drink coffee, which I guess a lot of people do. You probably have processes that you do every day, partly because you enjoy them, right? There's an enjoyable nature to those processes. And the other thing that I noticed trying to go caffeine free for a month was that it's really difficult to buy a soft drink without caffeine. Like, you've got root beer, but that's not sugar-free. And you're about to see, I'm going to put sweet and low in. I try to stay away from the sugar as much as possible. I guess I'd rather have cancer than get fat. And so if you want to buy diet root beer, it's not in most machines. And then the one I thought I was safe on was orange soda. And you might be thinking, well, yes, orange soda doesn't have any caffeine in it, Albert. What you moron. But it does if you get sun-kissed. Little spoiler alert. So I tried to go 30 days without drinking any caffeine or having caffeine of any kind, but I had one little boo-boo where I started drinking a can of sun-kissed and then thought, well, I'll just double check the ingredients. I know there's no caffeine in this, but just to be sure, there's caffeine in sun-kissed for some reason. And that was sugared as well. There was no sugar-free sun-kissed in the machine that I was buying out of. So if you want to buy a diet soft drink, you are pretty much stuck with caffeine. Now, I bought a water bottle that I've been carrying around a lot that I put like a little squeezy, I don't know what you call it, like the Crystal Light Mio type insert flavors into, and I fill it up with ice and then I put water in it, and it keeps me in cold drinks throughout the day at work because, as you may know, with the pandemic going on at the moment, there are no water fountains available to anybody. So I am thankful for that. I am anticipating, oh, that's very hot now. Anticipating this being done any minute now. And I'm excited to try my first cup of coffee. I'm going to be using International Delight, the French vanilla, to add to my coffee. Not a sponsored thing, they're just really good. I'll also buy the off-brand French vanilla because it tastes about as good, but sometimes my wife finds like 2-for-1 deals where the International Delight is better, so I recommend this stuff. And I'm not a coffee purist. So when I drink my coffee, I'm not against adding sweetener and creamer and like all that good stuff. That is all part of it for me. I just adore all of the fixings for coffee. It tastes so good. All of the stuff together. I like it cold. I like it hot. I'll have it lukewarm. That's not my favorite, but oh yeah, I'm getting so excited here. I'm doing the watched pot thing. I'm waiting for this thing to be done. Any second now, it's gonna be good. Watching for that orange light. How's your day going? Have you had coffee yet? I sure hope so. We're having a beautiful week here in Florida in October. We Florida decided to have fall this year, which it doesn't always. Sometimes summer just lasts up until December, and then we get like some weird cold months for a while. But there's a really beautiful nip in the air that it just makes, it's so refreshing after the summer to finally get that new old feeling of fall. I'm very pumped. After I have this cup of coffee, I'm about to go on my run. Oh, the light came on. And I'm gonna enjoy not only the invigorating effects of the coffee, but also the invigorating effects of the cold air on my skin. Here we go. I would normally fish out the little thing, but I'm not gonna do that today right this second. We're just gonna go ahead and pour. I don't have things to stop my fingers from being burned. All right. A little bit of this. Hopefully it's still good after a month. Probably more of that than I needed. It's fine. The process. The process of coffee making. Oh no, I forgot a spoon. Oh no. Hold on. I'll be right back. Since this is a special occasion, I have gotten my second favorite extra long stirring spoon for the occasion. My first favorite must be in the dishwasher somewhere. I'm not the only person who has a favorite spoon, right? You know how like you kind of accumulate spoons throughout your life? And some of them are just like the crap ones that you've bought because who wants to spend a lot of money on spoons? But then there's like that one spoon from the set that who knows where it came from. Maybe you accidentally like took it home from somebody else's house, or like you got it at the thrift store in a bundle of other spoons. I have a favorite spoon. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. First cup of coffee in 1 month. Gonna give it a good smell. Smells good. That's something else. You can just feel it like igniting things as it goes down. That's probably just the hot liquid going down your throat, but there's nothing like that. I guess I could drink tea. I could have like green tea or something and enjoy that, but tea's no competitor for coffee. That is a pretty good cup of coffee. The best cup of coffee I ever had, the best normal cup of coffee I ever had, actually had on a cruise ship. I have only been on one cruise in my life, and there was nothing like that I could tell you that was interesting about this coffee as far as I didn't get it somewhere special. It was just at the breakfast they served. They didn't have any like fancy stuff they did to it. It was just regular coffee and regular cream and regular sweeteners like I always use. But man, that was a good cup of coffee. They must have had some like extra super special beans or something. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I mean, you can go to Starbucks, you can get some fancy thing, right? Where it's all duded up and has like whipped topping on the top or whatever. But this was not that. This was just a regular cup of coffee that surpassed any other cup of coffee I'd ever had. It was a weird experience to just be able to be like, this is the platonic idea of a cup of coffee. This is the one that all other regular cups of coffee are trying to beat. I probably should pay attention to which beans that I buy. I generally just buy the store-bought ones with the flavors. Like this one is, the beans are vanilla, French vanilla, which matches up with our little creamer here. I really like the French vanilla and the hazelnut flavored beans. Feels good to be back. I don't really have a lot more to say. I was maybe gonna video myself as I got like more and more hyper and had it kick in. You know, I was wondering, I don't know exactly how long it takes to really have an effect. I didn't start out this process feeling tired particularly. I had a good night's sleep. I woke up a little bit at 4 for some reason, but I went back to sleep. I felt fine, but it is just good to be back in the swing of things. Coffee's good, you guys. I recommend trying stuff like this, though. I like to try experimenting with myself. I've tried fasting, not partly for weight loss, because I want to lose some weight, and I've been experimenting with different things trying to lose some weight, but partly just to see, like, what kind of person am I? Like, what am I made of? Can I do this? Could I go 4 or 5 days without eating food? Can I go a whole month without coffee? I've considered experiments, which I have not done yet, like spending a month as a fructarian, somebody who only eats fruit. That's going to be pretty hard on the social life. My wife likes to eat things that are not fruit, and as I mentioned, not a big willpower person, so sitting there while she has a, you know, fried chicken or whatever, and I have an apple, that one might not happen in the near future. I don't know. But the coffee experiment, I think, was a success. I learned something about myself. Give it a shot sometime. I'll see you guys around.